Welcome to this National Coffee Day edition, Brenda and Rod, of Sunrise Extra. Here we are.
Yeah.
It is a Tuesday. Rod's talking about 80-degree temperatures through the rest of the week, but we're not worried about that. We're just talking about our coffee. We can only really do this one day of the year, so let's do it today. I know a lot of our viewers, sort of it's a habit, right? You wake up in the morning, you grab that cup of coffee, you turn on the Sunrise show, and off you go. So one of the things, we have a couple of questions we can have fun with this morning. We want to make this one of the more fun editions of Sunrise Extra. So a couple of questions. Number one, if you had to skip one or the other during your morning routine, maybe you're running late and you had to skip one of these two things, which would you skip? Your morning shower or your morning coffee? Have fun with that. And then secondly, the other question we're asking, we thought this could be good, and this format allows for time to really get into detail here. And we want detail. We want from our viewers this morning their worst or best, however you want to describe it. We want your worst/best coffee spill story.
Oh.
I'm hoping like coffee that spilled on like the person that you were interviewing with to get a new job maybe, or something like that.
Oh, look what Travis wrote. That's terrible but funny. Spilled on my new coworker on my first day on the job.
Thank you, Travis. Oh my gosh, here's a long one. Do you want to handle this one, Brenda?
No, go ahead. You take this one.
I just walked right up to the camera so I could read the whole thing well. Jennifer says, I had somebody spill coffee on me on the bus. She just got on, McDonald's cup in hand, and was walking up the aisle as the bus started to move. I can already picture where this is going. We hit a bump, and while she went to hold on, I got drenched. Baby blue cardigan sweater, white flower jeans. And she said the woman did apologize. I was stunned, I was soaked, and all I could say was, it's fine. It's fine. At least I was off at the next stop and had a t-shirt at my office. People walking by my desk all morning kept saying, it smells like hazelnut.
Is that a new cologne?
That's great.
And then we have Amanda Pat Prest. What is this, a 220 degree?
220 degree.
See. It's far away. People, I don't have my glasses on yet. 220 degree Americano, water spilt down my neck.
Ooh.
Dear God.
That would leave a mark, I think. Oh, my goodness. Lenora Reese chimes in. So we asked this question earlier this morning. All these viewers kindly chiming in earlier. But if you have a live comment you'd like to share with us, please jump on the stream, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Anyways, Lenora says, traveling with my then 15-month-old daughter from Texas back to Portland, early morning flight, 3.5 hours. She was by the window, I was in the middle seat, and she went to adjust her seat. She reached for something near me and bumped hot, sticky coffee into my lap. That was a fun, wet, sticky trip. See, those are the stories we were hoping for this morning, Brenda.
And they're coming through. Okay, so I don't have that problem because I have this travel mug. And I've knocked it over. But so far, so good. Nothing has spilled. And this is what I take in the, in the car.
Do you remember, Brenda? And Rod, you were there that morning, too. I don't know if you were in the studio at the time, back when we were all in the studio together, shoulder to shoulder.
Ashley Corson?
Yes. Well, I'm looking across the room at
yes,
Brenda.
I remember. Yeah.
So Ashley also had like a mug of some sort, like you do, Brenda, on the desk there, but hers did not have a lid on it. Shame on you, Ashley. And she was to my right, and I don't know what I was reaching for, grabbing for, doing, but I hit that coffee, and it hit the desk, and it went on Ashley right. Was she wearing like white that day?
No. But
it wasn't black.
I thought it was green, actually.
It left a mark. It just left a big circular mark on her dress. She's like, And somehow it did kind of dry decently enough for her to get through that show, but still, I felt terrible. Like, what can you do? You can't take it back.
I don't even think you were reaching for anything. Tell the truth. You are the most energetic coworker I have. You are doing all kinds of things all the time.
You think I was just gyrating for no good reason?
Yes,
no, I think I was looking for something over here.
Sometimes you do gyrate.
I think I was looking at you having a lively conversation. I forgot Ashley was behind me, and I turned around aggressively, and there it went. I don't know what happened. But
I know.
Rod,
what about you?
Wow.
You've got that Sunrise mug.
Well, so my story is me spilling on another person.
Yes.
And this goes back to when I was at Trans World Airlines, TWA Fly Tent. I'm in first class. And in those days, you had a little silver tray for coffee service in first class. And you had a regular, the ladle or the creamer, the fancy little creamer container that was filled up, and you had your sugars on your tray. So I'm sitting there with my tray, and for whatever reason, somebody called for me, and some passengers will call you by your first names on your apron, and I'm sitting there giving coffee to this gentleman in first class. He has a beautiful suit on, right? He's probably going to a meeting, and someone says, "Hey, Rodney," and as I turned around, I tipped the tray just enough, and it was pretty full, about this size of a creamer container, goes sliding off of the tray, hits this first-class gentleman in the chest, and every single drop of that, and it was half and half cream. That's thick stuff, right?
Yeah, we're familiar.
Goes spilling all over his suit and his shirt and his tie, down to his pants, and he was incredibly pleasant. I remember not for 1 second he did not seem, agitated. And I remember thinking, if you want to get up and just, hit me across the old kisser, you have the right. Give it your best shot. But he was so calm, and we're rushing to get him some hot water on towels to wipe it off. But can you imagine that? That's worse than coffee, right? Thick
Did you
cream
comp him?
all over your business suit. And I'm sure he was on
Maybe
his
the
way
plane
to a
ticket.
meeting.
I don't know. You got to comp him something after you dumped all that on him. So people are talking nonstop.
Yeah.
So Katie, this is a sad story. As a coffee lover, I understand what you're saying here. I think my saddest coffee spill story, I was backpacking and only had enough coffee to make my 1 cup. I had my coffee sitting on the ground. I moved to stand up and my pack tipped over. The precious coffee.
That's a good
small tear.
I love the detail. That's what we were hoping for this morning. Our viewers are coming through with great detail on these coffee spill stories. Yours was great too, Rod, by the way. But this one comes from Virginia, chiming in on Facebook this morning. Hi, Virginia. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
She says she fell out of an elevator at Meyer and Frank years ago because it did not stop level with the floor, apparently. So she fell out of the elevator. And yet she did not spill a drop of 3 full cups of Starbucks.
Dang.
She says, "I am the master."
Ma'am.
Kudos. Connie says, my sister, when picking me up in her brand new Subaru, told me, just dump your coffee in the car because you always do it. Just get it out of the way. And she's not wrong.
Again, I don't know what I did.
Did you guys see Tina's comment there as a waitress? She dropped a red margarita down the back of a man wearing a white dress shirt.
Ooh.
A red margarita.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, I dropped
I wonder if the guy was like, my first thought is you're going to lick your shirt, but not to be disgusting. Okay, moving on.
You know what? That's so funny. I've never had coffee spilled on me, but I have been out and I've had a drink spilled on me. People walking through crowded restaurants or clubs or whatever.
Yes.
I always do this over my wine glass or whatever I'm drinking, but not everybody is quite so not drunk to do that. I've never had coffee spilled on me, though.
I had a beer spilled on my head at a Blazers game last season. So the year anniversary of this incident will come up on November 1st or 2nd. I forget. I went with Brandon O'Rourke, one of our producers, and my 2 sons. We went to see the Sixers play the Blazers, and I won't even get into much detail, but I was sitting in that last row of the first section, so I'm up against the wall, and the boxes are above us, and someone must have been resting their beer above me. And just moments earlier, I switched seats with my son, so I could sit next to Brandon and kind of, chat with him for a bit. So now my sons are sitting next to each other, and I'm over here, and that beer comes down. I'm sitting there talking to Brandon. I'm like, what the heck? Why am I getting, what's going on? And the beer is just pouring down onto my head. And I stand up, and the guy just looks at me like nothing. I stand, he's kind of above me. I look at him, I go, what? I couldn't even get the words out. I was so mad. And he just stood there and stared at me. I go, you gonna say anything? You just spilled beer over my head. Sorry, dude.
Oh.
He's probably thinking you owe him a beer. You took his beer.
He's probably thinking I can kick your butt. You want to keep this conversation going? Or?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that could have ended in a fight.
Stanford Walker. I don't know what I did to make Stanford Walker upset, but he says this morning, I love you both, Brenda Braxton and Rod Hill. You are so funny. Thank you for Sunrise Extra. Wow. But he says, I have to say, you two are my cup of coffee.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Stunned silence. You've stunned him into silence, Stanford.
Well, do you really?
I have no idea.
You don't drink any coffee, Stanford? Or we're just the first thing that kind of gets you going in the morning? Because I like these guys too, but I have to have my caffeine.
Before the shift, I started drinking coffee when I got on the morning show, and now I'm a coffee addict, basically. I get the headaches when I don't drink enough,
Really?
you know, and all of that. Yeah.
No, I don't get headaches at all when I don't drink coffee. The only time in my life, since I've been about 17, that I didn't like coffee is when I was pregnant with my 2 kids. It was like somebody flipped a switch, and the smell of it would nauseate me, which is really tough on this shift because everybody that I worked with drank coffee, and I was just going, but other than that, I started drinking coffee when I was 17 and I was a camp counselor at outdoor school. Black coffee. Rodney, I don't know, you're not going to like this. It's a little controversial. I think I'm in the minority. Okay. But if you put anything in coffee, I call it pollution. I like hot black coffee. My favorite.
Yeah.
I drink more black coffee now than I used to. And I think Dawn said, I don't like coffee. I think it was Dawn who said she doesn't like coffee. Yuck on the Facebook. But I will tell you, if you don't like coffee, it's probably, I'm going to assume it's because every coffee you've ever had is bitter, and I challenge you to find a really good cup of coffee that's not bitter at all, because they are out there. And to me, when you find that cup that's not bitter at all, for me, that's some of the Kona coffees, then it's a really treat. It's a real treat.
And I know you use that Kona blend, Rod, which I think there's a difference, right, between the Kona blend and 100% Kona. We were in Hawaii.
The difference is big time money.
Yes. Well, a couple of years ago, we were in Hawaii, and we visited one of those coffee plantations, took the tour, did the whole thing, and then they poured us, a cup of freshly roasted 100% Kona coffee. And I usually put cream in mine, or cream and sugar, and then so does my wife. So we have this, and it was awesome. I mean, it was just like, nothing but the black coffee itself, and it was fantastic. And then I got home, and I stuck my little pod in the coffee maker and tried it without the creamer. I was like, not as good.
It's not the same.
No.
Ryan Moon says he drinks coffee in the shower.
I saw that.
That's hardcore.
Who is this?
I respect
Drinks
that.
coffee in the shower?
Ryan Moon.
I love this person.
I've done that too. In the morning, getting ready for the show, when I think like, geez, I'm kind of cutting it close here, I'll combine the two, but you can't do both. I can't soap and drink at the same time. So eventually the coffee is just sitting
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it.
And at some point you have to put the coffee down to execute the shower part, and then you're getting water in the coffee, and it just didn't work out. Maybe Ryan has a better plan.
Yeah, maybe he's got a lid on the coffee. He's got it dialed in his shower. That's his business. Willie Huey, biggest corona change for him, not working at a coffee shop for 2 to 3 hours while caffeine gets mainlined into my veins. And Don Kimlinger likes the smell.
Wow.
Even if you don't like coffee,
I
do think that's a fabulous smell.
And Saturday morning, I'm sure you still drink coffee, both of you, on Saturdays and Sundays when we're not working sunrise, right? So that is my favorite cup of coffee, that one on Saturday morning when I'm furthest removed from doing this shift. The Sunday morning coffee does not taste as good as the Saturday morning coffee. Saturday, I sit down and I'm actually sitting while drinking. I mean, look at us. We're usually standing or moving or doing something while drinking the coffee. I'm sitting on the couch, watching something with the cup of coffee, and those first few sips when it's still like at its peak hotness without burning your mouth, it's fantastic. And by the time you get down to the middle, to the bottom, now there's a bit of an effort, like, I just got to get to the bottom so I can refill. But that's those first few sips on Saturday morning that I most look forward to.
There really is nothing better than that. So we take turns making coffee, depending on who gets up first in our house on Saturday and Sunday. And sometimes, like, Jeff will go down and he'll make the coffee and I'll kind of snooze, but I can always smell when the pot is ready, and then he comes up with the hot coffee. Love it. Love it, love it.
Hey, did you guys see Renee Robertson? She takes a spoonful of sugar-free hot cocoa mix, and she puts that in her coffee to make her own mocha, I guess.
Oh,
but,
that's cool.
That's probably pretty tasty.
Hey, wait, we have a birthday shout out. Perhaps, Drew, you can sing. Matt Shea, today is my birthday, so I celebrate both today.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
Happy National Coffee Day birthday, Matt Shea.
Hope it's awesome.
It's a rhyme there somewhere with the Shea and the day, and happy birthday to you, my friend.
Another birthday, Tamra Larison says it's her birthday, but she does not drink coffee.
She is a frequent viewer of the stream, I know. Connie Staub Miller chimes in. What's up, Connie, with a K? She says, my husband, for our first 25 years, never understood my coffee addiction. But the last 10 years, he's turned to the dark side, and he is now as addicted as I am. Way to go, Connie. What other ways have you changed your husband over these 25 years, I ask? Because they say that's hard to do.
Did you see Joshua Madrid?
No.
I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah.
Joshua says, I'm not a cream and shoot. The The stream is like
Not a cream
updating,
or
and I
sugar
just
guy, but
lost
as a
it.
bartender, he uses an ounce of nice Italian Amaro. He recommends Averna.
Averna?
Averna, is that right? Makes everything better. Delicious, Joshua says. Brenda.
Joshua,
Yeah,
what
sounds
is
good.
that? I'm not familiar with the Italian Amaro. Amaretto.
I'm not either. Some type of it must be a liqueur, right? Because he says he's a bartender. I'm going to assume
We're
it's-
assuming
I
a misspelling.
do like a Spanish coffee.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yes.
I
Yes.
think we should do the stream one
Huber's.
day with Spanish coffees.
How many? I've seen
yeah.
some
Remember- yeah.
close friends of mine and close relatives. I've seen them at their most drunk by way of the Spanish coffees at Huber's.
There's a lot of stuff in those. Yeah.
I mean, it's taking people to places they didn't
Yeah.
want to go that night. I'll just be flat out honest.
Let's see, you've got a Kahlua,
Yeah.
you have 151 rum, you have triple sec, and then you have the coffee and the cream, the little sugared rim.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, guys, you know what my wife does for me on Saturdays?
Tell me.
I'm so blessed. My wife treats me so well. But on Saturdays, she makes me a latte. And on Saturdays, we have the little foam maker, right? On Saturdays, she puts a little bit of Irish cream. She does it in the foam of the latte. And I find that to be even more enjoyable than if the Irish cream actually just goes into the coffee. So just something to try. There's something about having that, just a drop of the Irish cream in the foam itself, as you're, in the milk as you're foaming it. Mwah, really, really good.
If I've been paying attention to your home stories this week, Rod. So what's happening right now with your wife and your daughter? They're leaving town each week for ice skating, and so they're gone Monday through Friday.
Yeah, they're going
right?
up to Spokane.
So Rod is
they drive
living-
up every Monday and come back every Friday. Yeah.
But you're telling me that you're basically living like a bachelor Monday through Friday. Your wife gets home Friday night, probably late, I'm guessing, probably late, and then she wakes up Saturday morning, and then she makes you a latte.
What do you do
What's your
for
point?
her?
What's your point?
You've got it made in the shade, my friend. That's why you're always smiling. People go, man,
I
that
told
Rod
you
Bill's
I
so happy.
married
Why?"
well. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
My wife didn't marry very well, but that's her problem.
I hope Grayson is not watching this. April Morrison says, I definitely would skip the shower in order to have my coffee. My day is not complete without it.
Connie Staub Miller is back. She says she's happy that we pronounced her middle name correctly, the Staub instead of Stab. She says the fact that you pronounced Staub right made my day. That is one of the challenges of Sunrise Extra. Calling out your names on the fly and trying to nail the pronunciations of your first and last names.
We just apologize beforehand if we get it wrong.
yeah.
How about this, Terry Hogenkamp?
wow.
Liquor in coffee helps stave off a hangover. So it works
Really?
for, yeah.
Says you.
Hey, did you guys see Susan Decker? And she says she had a lot of coffee when she lived in Seattle, but now she's a Diet Coke person. And I'm wondering if we have anybody watching that feels like they get just a bit, the same amount of caffeine from drinking soda, because other people do this, as coffee. Because I don't feel like it doesn't impact me, soda, caffeine, the same as coffee. But I know a lot of people turn to that vice instead of coffee. So anyway, just curious if we have other people that think they get just as much out of a soda.
I saw a couple people say that they do like soda, so I think the answer for them would be yes.
You get the double whammy there, right, though? It's
Yes,
loaded with
yeah.
sugar.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
loaded with
probably
caffeine.
it,
Yeah.
right? Exactly. Emily Morse, sipping coffee and ready to teach from home.
There you
Good
go.
morning to you. That's awesome.
Our friend Jennifer Taft with some words of advice for all those birthday shout-outs we had a few minutes ago. She says if it's your birthday, you can get a free drink from Dutch Bros today on this National Coffee. They can get that free drink whenever. Whenever it's your birthday, they'll give away the free
Very
drinks.
nice.
Yours just happens to be on National Coffee Day. Happy birthday again. She was also pointing out the fact, Rod, Jennifer Taft was, that you were getting somewhat red while talking about home life there this morning in Vancouver.
Was he blushing?
A little bit.
Rod says many outrageous things. I've never
it is
seen
a
him
little
blush.
embarrassing that my wife treats me so much better than I treat her. I admit that's a little embarrassing, I guess.
That's not real. What do you, I
embarrassing.
want to know, because I know that you must be a good husband. I know that you must be, because Grayson is a wonderful person. What do you do that's
Yeah, she
special for
deserves
her?
Oh, boy.
I
What do
want to know.
Oh my! See, I should have something on the tip of my tongue, shouldn't I? Come on.
I knew you wouldn't have that.
No, when she is home and I am off in the mornings, I do cater to her. I'm the one that gets up and makes sure she has her first cup of coffee, and I do what I can to make her. Usually she's up and going somewhere with our daughter early, and on those mornings when she's not, I do all I can. I'll make breakfast, and I'll let her be treated like a princess in bed. I do that. I'm not all bad.
I want the list to be
I'm not
longer
completely
next
evil.
time I ask.
So does she, Brenda.
I'm looking out for you, girl.
Oh my goodness, that's too funny. We have a call out for Mountain Dew here. Mountain Dew works for my caffeine needs. I've never had a Mountain Dew in my life.
For real?
Ever. Not even, I've never even tried it, sipped it. Never.
It's really, if you're not used to it, it's incredibly sweet. If you're not a soda drinker and you have a Mountain Dew, it is so over the top sweet you probably won't like it. I used to drink Mountain Dew, and now that I don't anymore, it's so over the top sweet because my taste buds have changed that I can't handle it. Yeah.
I did drink Red Bull now and again when I was in my 20s because I don't know why. I thought I needed the energy. And it started to affect me. Like I could see my heart coming through my chest. It was beating so hard, so fast sometimes from all those Red Bulls. So yeah, I don't really go any further than that cup of coffee in the morning. So the rest of the day is caffeine free.
So Shar says...
Oh, can we ask a question? If you're watching real quick, chime in on this. I want to know. How many cars in the drive-thru is too many?
That's a great question.
Where you will go, okay, I'm not going to wait in that line.
Right.
That is a good question.
Because I've seen Dutch Bros have 20-some cars and people still get in line. I won't do it.
What is
but
your
I'm
number
curious
then, Rod?
if there's a number of cars for some of our viewers that are like, no, I won't get in line. That's too many cars.
What's your number?
My number is probably no more, I would say 4 at the most.
Wow.
4 at the most.
Okay.
In front of me.
I'd probably
You know
go
what?
8.
Sometimes they totally like get them through.
Yeah,
there.
they do.
So there are 10 cars there, but it's like super quick.
But if you're right about 20, I don't care how fast you're going through that 20, that's going to take a while. I would not go the 20
That's
car
crazy.
line.
Yeah.
Same. I was just reading Char's comment. She says, many moons ago, on my first day training at Starbucks, I was talking so fast, my heart was racing too, after tasting more than 10 shots of pure coffee. The effect lasted the whole day, and my family had a hard time understanding me and told me to slow down. That was such a weird experience. I will not forget that for a long time to come. Well, you overdosed on caffeine, girl.
Real quickly, I don't know if we can pull that up. We started this Sunrise Extra asking for some stories of great coffee spills, and we had a lot of people chime in before the program even started. We had those comments. Can we pull those up now, or is it too late? Okay, so Director Brian just said he can't do it because our producer just walked out of the booth, and that's probably because it's wrap-up time. Yes.
It's time to go?
We've
Yes.
talked
Hey, we're getting
ourselves
numbers
out.
though. Some people go 8 to 10. Other people are going no more than 4 cars. So thank you for that. I was curious.
You're right, Rod. Amy says 3 or 4 at the most. That was a great question. I saw that about 2 weeks ago when I was asked to go stop at Starbucks and get some drinks. And when I got near the Starbucks drive-thru, I saw I counted, there were 13 cars. And I went home without the Starbucks and said, I apologize. There was 13 cars there. I could not do it.
Go to another location. There's one on every single corner.
This was the last one before our house. So it was like, kind of.
You're off the hook.
Yeah.
Well, cheers, you guys. It's been nice talking coffee with you today. Have a great morning.